Alright, so Blue-Black Kefnet. This is a deck that one of the MPL players had played this previous week. I think this archetype is very reasonable. I've gone more similar to the Blue-Black Kefnet list from the MPL first week than last time. Most notably, I have put the Thief of Sanities in the sideboard as opposed to having them in the main deck. One thing I am doing is I really like Ugin. I think it's a flexible answer that also generates a really quick clock. Someone asked why a Liliana over the 4th Ugin. Well, this is a 6-mana Planeswalker that you can't have 2 of in play. So, while I think Ugin is better than Liliana on average in a lot of the places where we want her, the flexibility to have both of them in play at the same time is valuable in some spots. So, that's why. That's why I've got a split of them. Notably, you'll see we're hedging aggro pretty heavily here. We've got 3 Ritual of Soot and 3 Enter the God-Eternals here. And one of the nice things about playing this blue-black deck is Chemister's Insight has Jumpstart, so even in the control matchups game 1, we can ditch some of these cards to Chemister's Insight. The easiest way to explain why you should play 60 cards in your deck is to tell people there's certain cards in your deck that you want to draw more often than all the other ones, right? Yes, so by playing more than 60 cards, you're less likely to draw the ones you really want to draw as often as possible. I disagree that Liliana is generally better than Ugin. I think especially in a control deck, I would rather have the Planeswalker that's an actual answer most of the time. In the control matchups, Liliana often doesn't draw any cards either. You plus her, make a token, they Teferi bounce the token, and then like kill your Liliana, and you're just like left there with nothing to do. Yeah, they just like have a way to kill her. You've made a 6-mana 2/2. Like at least with Ugin, when that happens, you draw a card afterwards. I'd argue Ugin is better in the matchups where you have problem permanents you want to kill as well. I think Liliana has potential to really shine in a deck full of creatures, but our deck is not full of creatures. Knew I should have put 3 Elderspells in the sideboard. If they just plus here, I might just Contempt this.
You cannot see your folly.
Hey, Luxo, thank you for the Prime support. Oh, I guess they had to just plus it, right? Because otherwise they wouldn't draw a card with my Narset. That makes sense. I knew that. Let's get him out of here. Bye, Felicia. And we're currently missing a land drop, but I've got a couple of Chemister's Insight here that can hopefully help us dig to those. Not only does exiling the Teferi let us play at instant speed again, but notably his minus is going to answer the token to this, which is something that I'd ideally like to not have. That was incredibly unfortunate for us. Because, like, now I can't hit my land drop.
I have practiced against hone your prowess.
You are watching Match 1, Game 1 with this deck, Bino. Currently not looking so hot. Stingy! Thanks for the 7 months. Welcome back. Maybe I should have taken the Ritual of Soot earlier. Yeah, that's probably a mistake.
Prove yourself. Every day is a new lesson. Meditate and prepare.
How was Diviner? Diviner was good. We had a bit of a rough run. We ended up adding a land that I think would have made things better for us overall, but...
Interesting technique. Keep an open mind.
Doesn't even really do anything, though. Need like 2 more lanes to do anything meaningful at the moment. Will you be happy or sad? You'll be sad because you won't be able to play your spells most of the time. Three red sources is not enough. And because of Kesmenia here, I actually can't enter the God-Eternals next turn.
There's no accounting for luck. Maybe yours will hold.
Oh, Fibblethip makes this free. Fibblethip, you so trickily good. So trickily good. Hey, you look a distraction.
I know 88 ways to defeat. I have just the trick for this.
Oh no. Oh, I tapped my lands wrong. Yikes. Oh, that's... No, it doesn't. This doesn't make spells. Oh, this. Dovin. Dovin makes it cost more. That one makes it cost more. Got it. It's like, that doesn't. Now it does. Yeah, we're feeling pretty dead here. Alright, I'm putting a 3rd Elderspell on my sideboard after this match. If people want to play this deck, I want to punish them. Magic's all about figuring out what decks you do and don't want to lose to, and then dumpstering the ones that you do post-sideboard. How many Ritual of Soot do I want to keep in? I probably don't want any, actually. Let's board in 1 stroke. This seems fine. Yeah, I mean, but we can, like, take Kesmenia out of play. We have Ugins and we have Contempts and stuff like that. Yeah, we played Blue-White Planeswalkers. It was kind of underwhelming. Felt really clunky. I think it's really good against these mid-range decks, but people that got under it felt like they really got destroyed. Ooh. Questup asked if there are cards you'd like to see in Modern Rights. If you don't mind, I'm interested in your opinion on the issue too. I don't think... Here's the thing. I think people who think Modern is fixable by printing new cards don't understand why Modern is linear and obnoxious. Modern is not going to change unless they ban a ton of cards out of the format and change it on a fundamental level. So I don't think they can print anything in this new set that will stop Modern from being primarily decks that are racing past each other, not caring what the other person is doing. Now, like, for me personally, I would love to see a Curse Catcher or Mausoleum Wanderer fairy. That would be a very fun card for me to play with. It's a good top deck. It's a good top deck. Yeah, one good top deck deserves another, chat. Never forget. Gosh, and we can use our Elderspell to pump up the Planeswalkers we steal from them. It's just good clean deck building right there.
Under my instruction, you will steer the course of destiny. Focus on what matters.
Would turning Modern into Legacy make it better? No, I don't think so. And again, when people talk about trying to fix Modern, I think they're being, rude and selfish. There's plenty of people who like Modern for the linear cluster that it is right now. There's no reason to change it to be Legacy Light. If you want to play Legacy, go play flipping Legacy. Why do you need another format to be legacy adjacent, right? The great thing about Magic is that it's so many different games that allow it to appeal to so many different people. Modern fills a void for Magic players that Standard and Legacy doesn't, and vice versa. You can play Magic for free, chat. Proxy decks. You can play Magic for free. You can play Legacy on Magic Online for dirt cheap. MTGO traders, your source for all your Magic the Gathering Online needs. And you'll be able to play way more Legacy in that time. Yeah, modern ain't cheap. Oh, we're gonna die not having any lands. Well, that exiles a token and scries, I guess. I guess if I take the time to kill this, their mobilized districts become more expensive to activate, which is meaningful. Yeah, this one definitely gets to go in my autobiography, 26 lands later. Sometimes Magic sucks and then you die. Oh, I guess I could have Spyglass District, huh? I don't know. I just didn't really want to play anymore. Today's going well. We started off by playing Bant Bow to start. That's definitely my leading favorite deck for the MCQ next weekend still. Just really love the play patterns that deck checks to generate. Frilled Mystic is my spirit animal. DMS, thank you for the 16 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, well. I would like to see you all secrets, please. Okay, so... And then get land screw to die anyways. Yep, basically. I think I'm gonna take Teferi, because, like, they don't have black mana, so they're pretty far off of casting this, and, like, this doesn't matter. Like, that cantrips for them. Ritual of Soot, not meaningful. Let's play Blast Zone out and start cranking it up. I probably want to move this up to, like, 3, 4, or 5, somewhere in there. I mean, if they play Hero, I have Moment of Craving, right? Yeah, almost certainly Esper Hero. I'm like, now they've stumbled long enough, they just can't recover. If we hit land 6 on time. Okay, alright. Let's take our threat away. Really? We're taking Enter the God-Eternals? I wonder if that implies they hit a veto here. Hopefully this finds us a discard spell so we can punch them. Alright, I'll bite. I'm gonna take the Enter the God-Eternals instead of the second Ugin. Yeah, I mean, if the experience that has a hard time against the Planeswalker decks, playing a bunch of Elder Spells makes a lot of sense. I would believe you that we might have a hard time there.
Your past is unwritten.
Someone had asked earlier why I have one of these over the 4th Ugin. Boards like this are a good example why. Oh gosh, they drew veto. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'm a little aggressive there. This is game 1 of this match. Second match with this deck.
I have reached my limit.
Yeah, I agree, Chalky. And even post veto, like, we're still in a great spot here. We died in the first match. Missed a bunch of land drops and died. The 26 land Jeff Hoagland story. Moment and Cast Down are good for their heroes. A lot of these decks aren't playing Seraph of the Scales anymore. This is not an Enter the God-Eternals matchup. They have 3 free and Deputy of Detentions to get rid of that very cleanly. I think I don't mind Disdainful Stroke. It tags their Planeswalkers, and it tags, like, the Hostage Taker. Is this the Thief of Sanity matchup? Like, where do I, like... This is either a Thief or a Ritual of Soot matchup. I feel like it's not both. I'm boarding up to 8 2-mana removal spells, so maybe I don't need this. I'd rather have Thief. Like, put a Stroke in. I feel like it's probably a Thief matchup, huh? I'm gonna trim a Narset. We have a hardish time defending her, I think, a lot of the time. And I'm like boarding this as another piece of 3-mana card advantage. I could just like board these in too and leave these in. You know, I'm probably not going to be sad to have a bunch of spot removals, so let's just like put in the, especially on the draw, put in the max number of ways to like kill Thief on time. Because like if Thief hits us, it runs away with the game pretty quickly. Yeah, that's true. They're probably boarding up on counter spells. I think the rise in 3-mana Teferi as a card that's being played everywhere has made cards like Seraph of the Scales that are 4-mana cards that don't impact the board go down a little bit, yes. I think you can board in Elderspell in any deck where you expect them to have multiple Planeswalkers. Maybe it could come in here. I don't think you bring in all 3 except against the Super Friends decks. But... like, control decks that are mostly winning with Planeswalkers are another fine place to bring in Elderspell. We left my Thought Erasure, so your hand's bad? Or just redundant? Just kind of redundant, okay. Perfect. This was a good one to draw that they don't know about. Alright, so we're ahead at the moment, but that could quickly change through a series of top decks. Like so. Ooh. I think I just want to crank Blast Zone up and trade it for their thing, huh? Because, like, if I play this, it just gets mortified. Would you cut it from the Abzan deck? Maybe. I would need to see how the play patterns of that deck end up playing out. So, like, when you have Hero in your deck, you're a little bit better against 3-mana Teferi. But yeah, maybe that should be a card that we consider cutting from that deck. I could see that being a reasonable conclusion. Blow this up now. Perfect. Lets me Stroke and Chemister's Insight this turn. Would you like to mortify this one? We're not going to play Search here because I want to hold up Disdainful Stroke in case they stick Liliana next turn or try to. In. I think we just double threat this turn. Just like thing go. Your move, Yugi boy. Someone had asked me about maybe fitting Tulsmere into the Abzan hero deck. Maybe that's a worthwhile consideration in the Seraph slots. I don't know. Like I said, I would need to see how the Abzan deck the play patterns work out against the Bant decks to see if it's really bad or not. Hey, Calhones, thank you for the 16 months. Good games, Vin. Yeah, Tulsmere is very reasonable against aggro. Sure. Hopefully they're playing a deck where these cards have text. There's a very real chance, and again, this is the problem with playing these control decks sometimes, like, if they're just playing a control deck, our hand has 0 cards in it right now. Sweet. Sweet, my cards have text. God bless. Yay! Cards that do things! Yay! Yep. You did miss Sultai Diviner. Up on YouTube later. The only change to the deck list was we cut the third Dreadhorde for a 26 land. Blast Zone looking a little bit awkward here with these. Can't double spell. Yikes. Contempt? Contempt? Gives me something that I can double spell with, so can't complain too much. Good. Golly. Well. Well, shoot. Yeah, big Rakdos. Putting on a bit of a brew here. Looks pretty sweet. Yeah, their hand is dense. Got some real density going on over there. I think we're just dead. I think your assessment of how far ahead or behind we're in a game, if you think we're just dead here, is pretty far off. So I get 2 more shots and a way to answer this Chandra. If we brick on the next 2 looks to answer the Chandra, we're probably dead. But I think as of right now, this game's actually pretty close. If I find a Contempt here. That's a pretty good draw. Lets them fill in their curve nicely with this hit. Am I dead? Alright, now we're dead. I was excited for these to be live cards. Turned out they were not really. Street Kings, thanks for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. If I bounce it and flip Time Lord, I can't cast my card. I can't cast Vraska's Contempt if I draw it. So that doesn't seem like a very good plan. They had some aggressive things, but I think this is a little bit too slow. I think I'd rather just have, like, cheaper cards down here. They probably have Legion War Boss, so I want to have a lot of cheap, efficient removal. Nyx's Cruelty seems good because they do have, what's his name? Rekindling Phoenix. Probably can't defend Narset particularly well. Thief of Sanity doesn't seem unreasonable. They've got a lot of beef in their deck. Who knows how much removal they're going to be able to leave in against me. Disdainful Stroke seems fine. This card seems a little bit mediocre. They have a lot of creatures they don't mind sacrificing. Let's try this. Well, I mean, the creatures didn't matter, Time Lord. If I bounced the thing, I couldn't Vraska's Contempt the Chandra, which was going to ultimate. Like, the Chandra ultimating was the thing that was relevant there. Alright, discard spell into Thief. Let's do it. Chandra's ult isn't really a draw 7 because you're nowhere near going to be able to play all the cards that she draws, but it's like a deal 7, draw 3 or 4, which is still like plenty good. It's still game ending. Huh? So I have Cruelty to check the War Boss, so I think I'm going to take the Priest here. Just so they don't have a way to use their mana next turn. Definitely looking for a land. I mean, to be fair to last game, we were dead to their creatures on board, too. Putting a stop on their main phase here because Legion War Boss remains forever bugged. So, by clicking on their main phase here, I get a chance to kill this before it makes a token. Because the game doesn't automatically stop here for whatever reason. It doesn't stop till they enter combat, at which point it's already made a token and you're screwed. I just can't not, like, my hand has so many 4-drops in it, like, it sucks to get this Rampage, but I can't just not use my mana this turn. Redagash, thank you for the 13-month resub. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Bye, Felicia. Uh, 26 lands later, the Jeff Hoagland story. And again, there's just such an incredible number of 4-drops in my hand that I'm going to go ahead and bounce this. We cast Thought Erasure too this game, right? And Surveilled. We Surveilled an on-land into the bin. He could have played Thief that last turn and Surveilled and blocked the 1/1 and then still had Cruelty. Yeah, I guess that's fair. The problem with that is they probably don't War Boss then and they just Angrath Rampage me, and I wanted to make sure my mana lined up appropriately. Okay, better late than never. Yep. When you manage to flip Azcanta before drawing your 5th land. Guild Master Kyrena, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. Thanks for keeping me around. Welcome, welcome. No, they're only removed if by a damage source or removed from her down tick. Yep. Alright, so we're going to 10. Hoping to draw like a Moment of Craving or something next turn. Oh yeah, we did totally see Rakdos Flamewheeler. Yikes. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Not really a whole lot we could do here. If we would have drawn our 5th land last turn, we would have been able to Disdainful Stroke that, but yeah. It's just how the cookie crumbles. And again, just to really reinforce how little the ladder ranking means, just like rank 4 to rank percentages and back again in the same week is just like the norm when you're like experiencing playing enough Magic and hitting enough bad beats and good beats. The ladder system isn't about measuring skill at the top end because there's so many people playing it. It's more about measuring who's had their win streak most recently and who hasn't. Yeah, I guess Azcanta gave me more looks for a moment than my Chemister's Insight did. I don't know. I think we were dead regardless there. No, Elderspell doesn't remove cards from Chandra. This is the part of my stream where I let people know who are new to the Magic community that Todd Stevens is a scumbag. And if you're not sure why I'm saying that, I would encourage you to Google his name. And the fact that he hangs out and continues to make money off the Magic community is disgusting. Nope, didn't rant. Just encourage people who are new. What prompted that? Being familiar with Todd Stevens' history prompted that. So if you're not familiar with it and you're someone who watches him on occasion, I would encourage you to Google his name. Well, last time he just conceded we were playing an unranked match, so maybe he cares more. Our hand not particularly good here, but they're missing land drop, so we've got that going for us. We have a Bedevil here, maybe. It's like the only reason to shock, right? Really love to draw like a Chemister's Insight to get a little bit of card advantage going and ditch some of these otherwise useless cards. I'm actually just not going to play this out because it's like almost certainly dead. He banned me for cheering 100 bits and telling viewers to Google his name. That's great. good.
Behold!
Level 2 Gaming, thanks for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. And All Rocks, thanks for the 17 months. I appreciate you keeping me around. Yeah, I had someone accuse me of calling Todd out as me being selfish and just hating on other streamers. I was like, you have no idea who I am and how I help other people. Like, just get out of here. Actually, you know what? Maybe, I think this was a mistake here. I think I'm supposed to have not cast my Kefnet there because it was likely to die anyways, and then I could have crueltied the Sarkin, right? I could have crueltied the Sarkin, and now he gets to like make a dragon. Hey, see you road cookies? Kerr, thanks for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, now they just get to cash this in for another dragon.
To me.
Yeah, but now they get to do like this and make a bunch of dragons. Is the issue. Well, that's a really good one. I do need to mill them though, because I don't want to mill my Kefnet. Pretty good ones to flip off the top. If you don't speak out, how will people new to the magic community know? Thank you for telling people. Lots of people said, yep, I agree, experts. I've been looking for any excuse to play a Bolas deck as blue-black just better. I think it is level 2 gaming. Honestly, I think a big part of why this archetype tends to just be better is in large part due to the fact that, like, Ugin just, like, kind of does what Nicol Bolas wants to do, but better.
I will consume you.
Alright, so they know I have this Cruelty, so I think I'm just gonna pass. Because if I play this, they get a free window to plus this and hit me again. And this way they either have to cash this in for a 4-4 or a plus and have it die to Cruelty. Work my way towards flipping this. Yeah, the last deck we played against, the big Rakdos deck, looked incredibly sweet. So a lot of good exploration to have going on in this format. Alright, so this guarantees flips if I bin this top card, which is great. Means I can play Narset plus still hold up Cruelty. Field of Ruin. Probably don't care about that. I guess this insulates me. They're probably playing Azcanta too, right? So I'm actually going to keep this. It still lets me Narset while holding this up, and it gives me an out to their search down the line.
Mind and body should move in unison. Meditate and prepare. Needs a rest.
Might as well leave search up here, right? Or field up. So, he doesn't just still play Magic. As someone who, like, went from grinding on the SCG tour to playing to streaming full-time, he almost certainly makes more money from Magic now than he made when he was playing SCG events. Because, like, traveling to play in tournaments doesn't really pay your bills. It's just something you do because you kind of like it. Like, if you get the kind of numbers he still manages to get for whatever god-awful reason, he's not wealthy, but, like, he makes more than the nothing you make traveling to play in paper Magic tournaments. Nah, so the problem is once you have bow out, you never want to cast a creature spell again, Waterboy. And if you're never casting your creature spells, it's like... Yeah, he probably just signed on, Greg. If you go look at his stats page, he generally has much more than that. I don't know if the negates are worth it. So, like, one of the balances you have to strike is, like, there's probably Thief of Sanities coming in post-board. Like, maybe these God-Eternals are probably silly. Liliana doesn't seem very good here either. I probably want my Thieves, and I probably want a certain number of answers to opposing Thieves as well. Like Moment of Craving here. Marty Punker doling out the sub-giftaroonies. Thank you for the support, Marty. I appreciate you. Welcome the gift of speech to all of our new members of Hooglandia. Hope you're having fantastic days as well. Let's try this. I'm fairly new to Arena. I have RDW based off a best of one SCG Richmond winner. Is there a best of one deck or something better I can play to try and get past gold tier? From my understanding, Mono Red is one of the better best of one decks. I personally don't have a ton of experience with it though. Once you have bits purchased, you just write the word cheer and then the number immediately after, no spaces. Here's a popular opinion, no thinged. Things like a children's card game and the community surrounding it are in no way obligated to accept back people in who have hurt them. We're not like saying someone should be jailed forever and ostracized from the world. We're saying that people in the Magic community like myself do not welcome back people who have intentionally hurt the Magic community. Magic is not a fundamental basic human right. Magic is a luxury hobby that is a privilege to play. That's just the long and short of it. This isn't something that you get to, you can, you know, just, sorry. I agree that people can change, as someone who's changed myself on different things, but by no means when you do something awful are the communities that you did awful things to obligated to say, yes, you've changed, we're going to welcome you back with open arms. His apology was an advertisement for his stream. It wasn't an actual apology.
If you wish to surrender now, keep an open mind.
Fat Chris Gaming coming in hot with the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. If you're not familiar why we're discussing Todd Stevens and letting people know that he's scum, I'd encourage you to Google his name. Here's a link that'll do it nice and handily for you.
Let us fight. Your end has arrived.
Probably dead here due to missed land drops. I guess they don't have a whole lot going on still.
I have just the trick for this.
Probably just want all of these possible. Well, these are legendary, so cast down doesn't hurt these. They're actually not in that good of a spot here, because, like, if they plus this, they get to kill my Narset, but the Narset's already drawn 2 cards, and then I get to, like, kill their Sarkhan, and they have nothing left. So, like, Narset dies, unless they have, like, another Sarkhan here. The tank there implies to me they don't have a Planeswalker, another Sarkhan, or another thing here. So, like, I'm gonna take 4 and my Narset's gonna die, but I think overall we're ahead if they don't do anything else here. Hopefully they're just flooding. Screw tends to beat flood. And I expect their last card to not be that good here, so just gonna go ahead and destroy this and then hope they keep bricking off while we stumble. The fact that we're kind of bumbling around here still makes me wish I kind of would have taken that Chemister's Insight, because that would be a really good draw at this point.
My prowess is unmatched by my peers.
Are these things not legendary?
Before action.
Is that not the case? Are these not legendary when they're creatures? Bant bow, Stephen Douglas. Frilled Mystic is my spirit animal. And Bant bow is everything I want to do. Red dragon creature. They are def legendary. I was like pretty confident they were legendary. This is gonna kill this. I might live to regret it if they draw like exactly Sarkhan. Yeah, maybe that's probably bad. I just want to like stop them from drawing cards. Yeah, I'm bad. I'm bad.
Truth lies beyond vision.
Well, that's your fault for registering counterspells in a format where Baby Tef exists. Cut the counterspells from your deck. Yeah, I think we're dead here because I used my Elderspell at the wrong point. I'll take one more draw step and a way to kill this Ugin. Cast down should not kill plus Sarkhans, no.
I train everyone. No one is more prepared than me.
No, they should keep their super types. I think I'm happy with our sideboarded. Yeah, you get to look at cards that are exiled with Ugin in paper. I'm playing Super Friends in Standard and in Scroll. Do you think making a teamer for Spark Double and Narset is worth it? You can't, so splashing a double blue card is really hard. So like splashing like just Spark Double is probably okay, but like splashing Narset would require a pretty huge change to what you're doing. I want to let you know how much I enjoy your stream. Since you decided to quit Twitter and have a sub-only chat, you've been happier and relaxed, and it makes better content. I agree, Cheddar. Life's been better since I cut back on social media. Weird. Even Twitch, in a way, is social media, but making the chat sub-only has cut out almost all of the people that would be here just to be rude. This hand's, like, a little mediocre, but I don't really believe in mulliganing against decks full of Thought Erasures, because, like, you mulligan for a better hand, and you just, like, end up dying anyways. Yep. I don't know that we don't really have a higher density. The Grixis doesn't really have a higher density of Planeswalker kill spells, right? When you factor in our Elder spells. On the off chance they don't have a removal spell, we get to get Phage down here. Could be like a Contempt or a Bedevil coming up, though. Yep. Probably gonna Scorn this, plus start cranking up Blast Zone. Hitting our land drops, that means we get something like Chemister's Insight or an Ugin. We'll get to start making strides from there, which is nice. I'm going to torch this in response, so that way they can't eat off of Sarkhan to draw a card.
I fight with a dragon's rage. Magnificent.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we're probably dead here. If their hand's at all reasonable, we're not in a good spot.
Dragon would rather die than lose.
Yep. So what's our best draw from here? With like an Elderspell?
Once again, I will return one day. Witness
Yeah,
the
Twitter
heart of my
is like super reasonable to use as an RSS feed and not as an interacting with people. Not only are there are a lot of actual people that just like suck as human beings, but like the volume of just like intentional misinformation being done by bots and foreign parties to like stir in distrust among people in certain countries is like, it's huge. Alright, let's try again here. Yeah, I don't know. I might pull this blue-black Kefnet deck off my website. We played it the first time and it felt kind of okay, but like playing various iterations of it the last couple of times, it felt like pretty mediocre. I did not see any thieves out of them. It's possible they don't have them. Back down to the 99%. It's like okay-ish against Grixis deck. I really like Bampo Punchworthy. Not only do I like it, but I think it's powerful enough to like. It's my top pick for the Mythic Championship qualifier in a week or whatever it is.
I know 88 ways to meditate.
Sounds good, Marty. Will do. I would love to bow again in the morning. I think we're going to try some Angel of Grace. Seemed like a good suggestion. That card's, like, impossible to race, so, like, seems like it could be sweet.
Reckless.
Don't bolas me, bro. I don't know if I want to try Resplendent Angel. The consistency the Explore creatures give is, like, pretty valuable. You need to keep Narset in play here is sweet, because it makes any of their draw effects much worse. Like, if they have, like, a Bolas next turn, they now want to bedevil my Narset, which is great. So, the way I shuffle is a way that a lot of people don't like their cards to be shuffled, so maybe you shouldn't learn from me. But I do a side pack, so I, like, take one corner and, like, push them into each other, and then I take my thumb and I push down in as they go, and when you do this quickly, it causes the cards to bridge and riffle a little bit. And a lot of Magic players think that even though they're playing with their cards, they should remain in pristine condition, which is just not true. Living Twister is really good in the aggro matchups. A 2/5 just blocks for forever, and eventually it turns into removal. Are they going to stream any part of the qualifiers? No, of course not. I plan to record my qualifier matches and upload them to YouTube after, but I don't think I'm going to be streaming them live.
Mind and body should move in unison, like wind and wave. Keep an open mind.
Would kind of like to draw a blue source here so I can go Thought Erasure into second Narset next turn. Yeah, the Nerd Rage tournament this weekend is paper. Perfect. Wow, they are about to be sad.
I won't forget our time together.
I guess that was the only good card in their hand, so they might as well try. Hey, Scouting, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome.
I have just the trick for this.
Thanks for keeping me around. This insulates me against any bomb they could find off of this, which is nice. If you're having trouble physically shuffling cards too, I'm sure if you do some Google searches, there's plenty of examples of how to riffle and pack in different directions.
Put thoughtfulness before action.
As you will. So probably lose Contempt here. Hopefully this Narset hits an Ugin. We get to go from there. Oh, come on. Seriously? That's so brutal.
In exchange for
Yep. Ugin? 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 Oh, they drew their best card, so we can't. As much as I loved Pod, Bantbo feels like the healthiest iteration. I agree. In terms of, like, competitiveness, Bantbo is definitely, like, my favorite creature-based toolbox-style deck. Toolbox-ish deck.
eons ago.
It's time to get in the zone. Yeah, am I just, like, using this Blast Zone over the next 2 turns to kill Bolas? Probably. Yep. Uncle Monkey, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I'm only going to crank this to 3. Because if I draw an Ugin, that's not terrible. So I don't have enough mana to Liliana plus up next this turn. More Shalai, more Lyra, Angel of Grace, all are reasonable cards. Yeah, if I Liliana down tick, they can't enter, that's true, but then the Nicol Bolas gets to stick around for another turn, which doesn't seem ideal. I think I'm just passing. And I'm like exiling Chemister's Insight to this Ugin plus. And I'm like gonna Obnix's Cruelty this when they target it, and then crank this up to 5, and we'll kill Bolas with it next turn. Hopefully their deck just like has enough bad cards in it at this point that like the fact that they've drawn a bunch of extra cards won't matter. Maybe I should have Obnix's Cruelty proactively so they just didn't have a target. Yeah, that's probably what I should have done. I should have done this and just like not left them this as a target. Small mistake on my part here. Alright, well, they're giving me a window to kill it. Thanks. Oh, it would have 4 damage on it, you're right. That's true. That is how that would work, wouldn't it? Okay. Depends on how good those last 2 cards are. You picked up a Scorn, we have a Liliana Dreadhorde General. Yep. Not a good scene for our hero, chat. Not a good scene for our hero. We are like 1 top deck away from being in it, though. Got Ugins, got Kefnets. We're through most of our Narsets, though. Yeah, their hand might not have a lot going on here.
Do not defy the design.
This
My plan.
Want to unlock this Chemister's Insight. And if I plus, I unlock their Enter the God-Eternal, so I'd prefer that don't happen. I'm actually going to mill them, because this game could come down to decking. Oh! Oh! Let's be super results-based and always mill them. Let's be super results-based and always mill them. Lucky, lucky, lucky!
Obeys me.
Magic's really easy when you're lucky, chat. Magic's really easy when you're lucky. Wow, milling themselves there feels bold to me. 5/5 off of that's pretty good.
Truth lies beyond vision.
Correct, Super Slink. So, I'm waiting on this because this has hexproof. If they go to kill one of these tokens and attack, because this has menace, I'll bounce this and then block this inside of combat. So I'm actually going to go ahead and try and kill this, just so I can chump block with just one of these. And now, when I block, this puts a card in my hand so I can Chemister's Insight, which is super appealing. Yes, please. Let's climbing our way back in here, slow and steady. Man, can we pour one out for Blast Zone? Just, like, appreciate that card for half a second. That card was, like, instrumental in winning this game, huh? This card continues to look embarrassing. This card continues to look just very impressive. They're rank 85 too, so we could start pulling ourselves back up here if we get lucky and win this match. Bye, Felicia. Yep.
Secrets manifest before you.
So, treasure map, in my experience, as someone who is very high on treasure map last format, in my experience in this format, treasure map tends to leave a lot to be desired because it's a card that requires you to continually pump mana into it, and there's a lot of good cards that you want to play at every point up the curve in most of these decks. Yeah, that's true, Zach. That's true. How has this deck felt so far? Kind of medium, honestly. I've definitely been less high on the blue-black Kefnet deck the more I've played it. Yeah, map getting bounced by 3 free is also incredibly bad. That's true.
The fabric of the multiverse obeys me.
Man, borderless Ugin when, huh? Love the stream. Any advice for someone who made the qualifier weekend and limited doesn't have a ton of time to practice standard? Yeah, play an aggro deck. It's the best piece of advice is if you feel like you're not on a level playing field with your opponent in terms of play skill level, you should always elect to play the deck that can end games brutally fast. Get them dead, so that way the people who you think are better than you don't have a chance to be better than you. I don't know, Punchworthy. I think the Bant Bow deck is more powerful, but they're both sweet in different ways. I do like that the Sultai Flash deck is a kill all the things deck. I think I want a board like this. I think because they could have Thief or War Boss, I don't want to board in too many counter spells. So I don't want to get run out, especially on the draw. The Boros Feather deck is really good when all of its pieces come together, but it just feels like it has the wrong half problem a lot of the time. Or like you have like too many pump spells or not enough creatures, etc., etc. So like when you draw the right mix, it's fantastic, but like always drawing the right mix is something that can be tough to do. Thanks everyone for hanging out today, by the way. Got 2,400 people in here. Y'all are great. Thanks for dropping in. If you're a new viewer, I'm here basically Monday through Friday, doing this every day throughout the week and occasionally on weekends as well. Start about 9 a.m. in the morning with Standard, and usually we go till about 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, depending on how many decks we got to get through. Discard spell into Thief of Sanity into God-Eternal Kefnet. Sign me up. This hand's very good. Their hand is, like, also kind of decent here, huh? Oh, you know what? We saw 4-mana Nick. I should have left the -5/-5s in my deck instead of the cast downs. That's what I should have done. We've not played Simic Mass Manipulation since the new set dropped, no. I think it's just the Planeswalker. Looking for a removal spell. I guess I can Thief of Sanity and then bounce their Bolas and hit them to try and find an answer off of their deck, which is probably not unreasonable. Yeah, I agree, Corel. I think he's very good against slower combo decks. That's a perfect answer, too. I think I'm actually discarding Tyrant Scorn here. Is that the hit? I found a removal spell, sure. I actually had someone submit Simic Thieves to the deck queue, saying that they had been maintaining #1 with it, so maybe if they submit it through, I plan to play it. How did Bampo go? Excellent. The deck is so much fun. 10 out of 10 out of 10, my favorite thing right now.
Defiance has consequence.
The Grixis deck, like most Grixis decks we've played, was incredibly disappointing today. What am I supposed to do here? I think it's just this, right? This dies to the least amount of stuff. And, like, I want to attack this next turn anyway, so playing the thing that dies to the least amount of stuff is ideal. It's definitely not Narset. I need to take this off the table. And I think, like, I need to, like, take this off the table while also having answers for these. They kept a card on top there, so I assume I'm not going to get to untap with this.
Infuriate my intellect is without limit.
Dang it, Bobby. That's awesome, White Sticks.
Bow before Nicole Suffer for your cause.
We did revisit it, and if you didn't see the second run, I would encourage you to temper your expectations. Low expectations, the key to not being disappointed in life. I think I just need to play this land. So the problem here is they're going to play a Nick, and then I'm going to play a Narset and Impulse to something, but I'm going to Impulse past this Kefnet, which sucks. And, like, I can't beat this Search for Azcanta either. So one of the things I would encourage people to break themselves of, and this is something that everybody does in Magic that just, like, is bad from a statistical standpoint, is people tend to equate a deck doing well in a tournament with that deck performing well. And performance means that the overall win rate of the deck is good, right? So one person having a good finish doesn't mean that Grixis had a good weekend at a tournament, right? Or a couple of people. So like, as a concrete example, if 50% of the people in a tournament are playing Grixis control, and only 2 of them top 8, but you don't know that, you know, most of them failed, it looks like Grixis had a good weekend, right? Even though most of them failed. So conversion rates are really where you get to learn how decks performed, but unfortunately with Magic, we don't really get complete data to learn those conversion rates for most events. So while it's neat to look at decks that had top finishes in given events, just looking at top finishes doesn't really tell us the performance rate of any given deck or archetype. It seems like kind of mediocre, but again, like, in matches full of Duresses and Thought Erasures, I really don't like mulliganing. You know, back when I was young and dumb and used to do stupid things like register 61 cards, my favorite thing about registering a 61 card deck list is 9 times out of 10, whoever was typing the deck into whatever online service was going to post the deck, they would leave out a card just assuming it was only supposed to be 60 cards. So they would, like, randomly leave out a 1-of that was in the deck because, well, they counted 60 and who would register 61. That's not good because they have benevolent blockers, right? Sure, but I'm saying, like, one of the things that you need to understand, too, and this is one of the things that a lot of people don't seem to be willing to accept, too, is that just like a good player with a good deck can have a bad weekend and not do well in a tournament, a bad player or a good player with a bad deck can do well by running good. So, like, again, a deck might top 8, like, I've top 8'd 100-player tournaments before, and my thoughts at the end of the tournament are, this deck was awful and I will never play it again. But, like, I still top 8'd the tournament with it because a mixture of running good and playing well. Are there ever valid reasons other than Battle of Wits to register more than 60 cards? You could argue that Battle of Wits is not a valid reason. No, I've kind of become disillusioned with this archetype the more we've been playing it. Alright, so if they hit a black source here, they can kill this and then untap and bolas this, but then I get to Contempt this, and then I have a Chemister's Insight left over. So I think even in a worst case scenario here, we're a little bit ahead. If they don't hit the land for this, we're a lot a bit ahead. But if they do hit the land, we're gonna be in a close game still. So do you have the black source? You do, of course. And they know about this card, right? So, like, they know it's gonna be close here. Ideally, we would like to rip another Ugin here so we can play Ugin and kill this. Good consolation prize would be a Thief of Sanity. Chemister's Insight's not bad. Another card that generates card advantage for us.
Have a time, Planeswalker. Resonate. I will return. You have no weakness I cannot exploit.
Elderspell, please. I'm actually gonna exile this God-Eternal Kefnet from my hand because by having 8 lands, I'm able to jumpstart Chemister's Insight and cast Vraska's Contempt in the same turn. Or not, you know, whatever. Or we're just dead. That's how the cookie crumbles. I guess if they flip this, I could still hit one of our 2 copies of Elderspell and, like, get back in. Come at me, bro. I get 3 looks at that, right? So let's take a turn at least.
Schemes to attend.
Keeping this land in my hand because I want to ditch it to this Chemister's Insight. Oh, this means they're not flipping this now. This is smart on their part. Means I can't find my blowout. Not that that was ever in any danger of happening. $26 lands later, am I right? Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna pull this archetype down off my website after the streams on today. I really felt like a huge miss to me the last 2 times. 2 times we played it. Just the mix of answers, threats, lands. It just didn't feel like the ultimate power level of what's going on here. Felt worth playing. So I don't think this is something that I would recommend still moving forward unless someone has some kind of big innovation that makes it feel more